Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. In the past few months, a major scam claiming to be from President Obama's administration has spread across the nation, and it has made its way to Alabama. The scam tricks people into thinking if they give away their personal information, their utility bill will be taken off their hands. But even if you're having hard times with your bills, don't let your struggle make you naive. There are legitimate ways to get assistance. WVUA's Courtney Highfield has more in tonight's top story.
Can drive your utility bills way up. And to add insult to injury, there are people out there looking to rip you off.
It's disappointing to learn that there are individuals who are willing to take advantage of others to gain income themselves during difficult times. But fortunately, there are resources that can help individuals who have had difficulty paying their utility bills.
And fortunately, in Tuscaloosa, there are many options when it comes to getting financial assistance. One place you can turn to is United Way.
If an individual is having difficulty or past due on utility bills, they can call the United Way's 211 helpline. And we provide funding for United Way agency partners, and there's also other organizations that can provide utility assistance. These organizations will require a photo ID and also for the individual to bring the bill in person for them to review.
Sergeant Brent Blankley of the Tuscaloosa Police Department says there are some key things to remember about scams.
The biggest things to remember about scams is, a company should never ask you for information they already should have. Anytime anybody asks you for bank account numbers, social security numbers, date of birth, at that point you should be, very, very weary of that.
And don't be afraid to question the person calling you.
Yeah, one of the biggest things is if somebody's saying they're calling from, Alabama Power, or they're calling from, some other company, if you're unsure about it, tell them you're going to call that company's 1-800 number, and please get their name and their, their employee ID number.
Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Courtney Highfield, WVUA News.
Friends are remembering West Alabama resident Melanie Gentile. She was killed around 5 o'clock Thursday morning in a car crash near her job at Mercedes. Tonight, Tommy Townsend spoke with a woman who knew Gentile for 15 years.
Melanie Gentile was only 40 years old when she was tragically killed in a car accident.
I'm going to miss you, and I don't know why or what happened.
Shelia Osborne spoke with us about the death of her longtime friend.
She's pretty much the same person today as she was 15 years ago when I met her. She has not changed. She's always been caring, always tried to help people. As a matter of fact, she goes out of her way to help people.
And Osborne says it was Melanie's strong character that made their friendship so special.
If it was right, Melanie stood up for it, and she was not going to let anybody stab us in the back. She was on it.
Near the end of our interview, Mrs. Osborne had this to say to her longtime friend.
I don't know whose fault it was. I don't know why God decided to take you home, but just know that all your work that you did was not in vain, and I thank you.
In Moundville, Tommy Townsend, WVUA News.
A Tuscaloosa man was hiking in Gettysburg early Thursday morning when somebody literally set him on fire. The 46-year-old, whose name police are not releasing, was walking into the town to get supplies for his trip along the Appalachian Trail. That's when a car with 3 men and 2 women drove past, and someone yelled about the hiker being homeless. The man yelled back and then left the road, hoping to avoid a confrontation. But the car turned around, came back, and one of the male occupants doused the hiker with a flammable liquid and then threw a match at it. The hiker suffered burns to his head, arms, and hands. A 17-year-old Mobile boy was out on bond for 6 felony charges at the time police say he killed a woman. Trayon Washington had been released from jail despite being charged in cases of burglary, stolen property, and drug possession. Washington is now being held without bond in the shooting death of 40-year-old Wendy Fisher. Authorities say Fisher yelled at a car to slow down in her neighborhood. Then they say Washington got out, fired a warning, and then shot Fisher in the chest. Washington is due to enter a plea next Thursday.